They let me out, bro, out of the day yard to come on in here, bro.
I was going to say, man, that's a lot of light.
I'm a big, anybody knows me, I'm a natural light guy. Except on my face.
He's not a big shower guy, though, as you can tell. The hair's a mess, folks. We're just going live because it's too funny. I just want to start off with we can always do the intro later.
But I didn't shower yet today either, man.
Yeah. Look at him. What do you got there, Coach? I bet you that's water. I know you had a big time. Where were you?
Listen, this right here, we're going mad. We go hard electrolytes in the AM around here.
I wonder why.
Why is my this shit so I added software for this goddamn webcam thinking it's gonna help, and all it's done is made it worse.
You look good, dude. You look great. You look as good as you're gonna get, just like the rest of us.
Shaun, real quick before we get started, what eye are we looking into, real quick?
The one that's looking at you.
Perfect answer.
Just like people.
Good morning, Samboners. I'll do the intro. Welcome back to another episode of the Samboner Show. I'm taking Mick's thunder today. Got to bring the juice like Mickey Boy and Jackie Boy in the back. Lots to look forward to here. We got Shaun Latham coming on with us. Guy's $20 chef, formerly a Barstool. Everybody saw him on there just killing those videos. I freaking love those videos. You were like the original gangster, Shaun. Everything you do here is brought to you by the Fudge Kitchen, shipping fudge and sweet treats across the country. FudgeKitchens.com. Jersey Shore, hook it up there. Everybody knows about it there, though. But if you want to ship it to your family and friends across the country, boom, easy. USPS right out the back door. Make it fresh. Ship it everywhere. FudgeKitchens.com. Dude, literally, if you think about it, and I just thought about this, and Mick and I are winging it because that's what's fun. And I know you're a wing it guy too there, Shawnee boy. Like, if you think back, you were making those videos. They were like 10 minutes, whatever they were. You'd have a guest on, pour a drink, make some tacos, make something, burgers. And now that's like the thing everywhere, man. People are making the same videos with the high quality footage that are short 5-minute clips of making a meal. Am I wrong? Are you the trendsetter in that? Because damn, that was like what, 4 or 5 years ago you were doing that?
Yeah, I started it in like 2017. I know that people are already doing cooking stuff. I don't, I know those other. I'm definitely not a fucking pioneer in the cooking entertainment game, but I definitely was. I think I was one of the first people who was just doing flat out stand up comedy bits in the middle. But I was just like with a towel while I was mixing something instead of just like looking at a guy in the front row or whatever. So I was always happy about that, and what I like about it is that it's not gonna that doesn't go anywhere. It's like comedy. Everybody can make an omelet, but everybody else ain't funny, and and they can't make people want to be like, just say stupid shit, like say stupid quotes or whatever. Like you could be the best egg omelet dude on the planet, but if it doesn't mean someone's gonna say catchy shit because you say it.
No, 100%, dude. I gotta take this back. I was following you back when you first started on my personal Instagram account, and then ever since we launched this Samboners thing, I barely even look back on that. Shaun, you are the trendsetter when it came to just fun, comedy, and cooking. And, dude, everybody does it, right? I sit there and make breakfast for my kids and fucking crack jokes left and right. I wish I was on camera because it's fun.
It is. And the more and more, like, the more shit I'm doing now is, like, I just want to be doing something wild also and then just go cook after. Like, I want to go right around with, like, in Florida on a F-14 jet with some dude. But first, before we take off with the F-14 guys, I want to make sure I'm getting the grill prepped and got a nice offset, heat rocking. But, let those coals get great while we go fly around and then come back and land and then make steaks for all the pilots and staff.
Chill the tequila, of course. Chill
and drink tequila after we land, Which, by the way, you got to watch. Like, I can't believe what people believe, man. I was on a flight from Mexico City this week. I went down there on a little personal taco tour, and on the way back, in Mexico, you can buy beers at the little stand where we only buy water and magazines and shit, and you can walk on the plane with a beer like a gentleman, Like finally getting a little respect around here that I can handle a beer walking onto a plane. Like I'm not flying the plane. Anyway, so I'm just making up some bullshit about the whole plane gave me a standing O for being the smartest guy on the flight for walking on with a beer, and that the pilot invited me in to help co-pilot once I finished my beer. And people were asking me if this was true. I'm like, come on, man. How far do I have to go?
What airline were you on, Shaun? Well, I'm not flying that airline. I can. Oh my God. We gotta go crazy on Twitter about it.
Well, it was that, but it was more like, dude, are you serious? Like, they're gonna let you in the cockpit and fly? I'm like, yeah, man. As soon as I finish this fucking ice cold beer, they're just gonna let me hop on up there and just get us to Dallas, big dog.
Maybe they'll even let you use the ashtray.
Take the sticks like you're playing Madden. Hey, buddy, you're up next. I need you to score this for me. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Shaun, dude, I'm super jacked to have you on this show today, man. Like, you know, when we try to define what the fuck a Samboner is to the Samboner Nation that we created, it's all about having fun. It's all about rolling up your sleeves, getting after it, eating, partying, drinking. And like, you look at your videos, man, you are the epitome of a Samboner. So, dude, talk to us about, like, you know, what inspired you to do this from the very beginning? And, you know, you got a nice little following, up to about 90K on the $20 Chef page. And, you know, your personal page has about 40,000 followers. So, like, dude, talk to us about that. What inspired you to do it?
You know, when I was doing stand-up and I started getting to a point where I'm like, I don't need this job anymore, dude. I'm good enough to be just a comedian. Right. And I was starting to get the work rolling. I definitely wasn't good enough to just be a comedian. But, you know, you learn about yourself, and you can't eat out. Like, you just can't eat out. So you have to be at home figuring some shit out. And luckily I had this really cool bar job in Santa Monica. But there was a restaurant that it was like a dining in the dark restaurant in the back of the nightclub that a blind guy hosted every day for dinner before the club opened. So people would come in. It was like a thing, $100 a person or some shit. This really cool, like, dope ass blind dude would just walk you to your table. Now everybody's blind in this restaurant, and you pick meat, fish, or chicken. And so there was always a ton of meat and fish left. So the Mexican cook I was homies with, we'd always smoke weed together. He'd let me on Saturday night because they weren't open during the week. So he would just give me like 10 pieces of tuna. I take home like 8, 9, 10 pieces of filet. I had like this good ass food all week, and I just started cooking it all the time. And then I start adding on to it. Then you start adding a soup in, and then somebody's girlfriend comes over and makes some dope ass soup. And it just kind of rolls from there. And I just really enjoyed cooking the more and more. And growing up, my mother always cooked. We almost never ate out. So I always have that envy of like how good home cooking is, and like how not only good, but important in so many other aspects, as opposed to just, I'm a little child, I need to eat so I don't die. You know, like the rule, the base of the discipline of you have to be here for dinner. Like, this is what you're built for. You are a kid. Your life does not matter outside of here. Dinner is what matters. And it was always really good. And I used to love eating dinner and coming home and what my mom making, you know.
Oh my
So
God.
that's where it kind of comes from. And then you just kind of mix it together with your other shit, you know, like, oh, well, I'm a maniac.
So you're a comedian by trade, and then you tied the 2 and 2 together and had some fun with it. You've been on the gram for 4 years doing this. Who are some of your top guests that you've had on the $20 Chef show?
Oh, man, Aaron Sanchez from Master Chef, Sean O'Neill from Master Chef. I've been really lucky. Jericho, Mike Epps,
nice.
Miss Pat. You know, I've had other awesome chefs. Duff Goldman. I've had, I
saw you had like Jim Brewer on at one point, Chef.
Yeah, Jim Brewer, Gabriel Iglesias, Joe Coy.
Oh my God, dude, you're killing it.
But I also, you know, some of that I got lucky on my own right for, you know, sacrificing the 15 or 16 years prior. And, you know, you meet a lot of these people before they're humongous. But like, I know, you know, Joe Coy, for instance, he was already the guy when I'm in 04. So, but I got to meet him throughout the years, and I worked with Gabriel Iglesias, and but then you just get lucky. Like, I have Aaron Sanchez because he's pushing a book, and I was at Barstool, and that's what you do. Oh, well, let's put his book on the cooking show.
And it's funny you say that, because I see the same thing actually in the football world where I'm at. It's like the guys I played with in college, or the guys I grew up with that played pro sports, like a Ryan Arcidiacono, or like the guys from, Mike Biglici's playing for the Niners. Like, they're up for their second contract. And the guys that were my coaches at Temple, they're up to be like OCs and head coaches in college, or they're up to be like a GM. So it's kind of been fun. You get to move up with these guys, and you're like, yeah, I'm lucky to call these guys friends, even though for me, and I'm going to see this for you too, humble guy, just trying to chop it up, self-deprecating. And then you're like, turn around, you're like, holy cow, that guy's my friend. Like, he just gave me a phone call. I have that with a lot of my guys that I talk to on the phone sometimes.
Yeah, it is really cool. Like that is one of the other cooler aspects of just being when you just stick it out in something, like sticking it out and just keeping on moving and keep rolling. I'm headlining Tempe Improv tomorrow night, and I have some, like, one of my buddies was my general manager for 5 years. We were really good friends. Kind of the guy that forced me to move to LA to do stand up in 2004 from Phoenix. Now he's like this guy owns like a corporate conglomerate fucking Oso brewery in Phoenix with like other concepts. He probably owns 20 plus places of some wild shit, Oh
my God.
And he's coming tomorrow. I was like, hey, I'm bringing all my kitchen managers from everywhere. I'm buying 40 tickets. You're just like, man, I might be funny, but Jesus Christ, people, I am the dumbest dude in the math business world in history. And if you peel back the books, you'd agree.
Sounds like you went to Archbishop Wood, Colin.
That's where we went to school there, Sean.
Hey, I graduated fucking flying colors.
So did we. That's what you graduated Archbishop Wood with. Flying colors, a good time, and you learned a lot of life lessons. And that's a free advertisement, Archbishop Wood. Okay, Sean, for me, right, this is a Philly-based.
Yeah.
But we were trying to be more, worldwide, and we are. Samboners are worldwide. We got people in England. We got people in California. I did a burrito right on the beach in San Diego, like one of my first Sambones, like right on the beach, San Diego, and I think it was Ocean Beach, PB maybe. Man. It was great, dude. Big old burrito.
You go with the Marisco's burrito, some sort of fish burrito. What was your move?
No, it was steak, potatoes, just packed to the gills. I was just crushing it on the beach. We got to work off the little hangover a little bit. What do you do?
You're smashing steak and egg burritos.
Dude, it's my favorite. I'm a huge wrap guy. Burrito and wraps.
It's big month coming up for Colin, Sean. February, we're going to be honoring we call Breakfast Sandwich Month or Breakfast Dawn Month here in Philadelphia.
Breakfast. But what I want to get Chef dialed into is here, like, what's your favorite cheesesteak? How to make a proper cheesesteak in your opinion? Your thoughts on the whole culinary masterpiece there?
Personally, I like to grab some I'll grab a ribeye and I like to, I'll throw it in the, freezer for an hour at least or so, just so I can shred it down nice, like to thin it, make it get this possibly, I buy as good as possible ribeye as I can grab at a butcher shop, and I'm not a corporate guy these days, but, Whole Foods are everywhere and they got a great butcher, man. They got a great butcher shop.
Nice.
I'll give you, or wherever you go, if you're in Indiana, you're going to want to go to Kincaid's Meat Market there in Fishers, also located in Broad Ripple. And I always going to grab the fattest ribeye I can get, with a decent amount of marbling. You want to get that flavor off that fat, just soaking into that meat when I'm using my flat, the Blackstone or whatever. I'm not making them at home. That way I get a good, thin slice of the best possible ribeye I can get my hands on. Personally, I'm going to go with the $20 Chef high stakes rub. I'm going to sprinkle that on there on my old Philly, on my little Philly there.
Absolutely.
That's the sound right there of freedom. You hear that, everybody at home? No, but
sound of money.
And I wouldn't be doing the cheese whiz at the house as much because I'm not that deep rooted in the Philly. Like if I grew up in Philly, I'm pretty certain I would have some sort of nacho cheese recipe style thing going on that I could just make, because I would want to make both. Like I know everybody fights over, do you want to go with, the whiz? Do you want to go with the melted cheese? Like what's the move here? Different restaurants do different things. But I feel like, can't we just like be fat enough to want it all? Why does it have to be one or the other? So at home, I'm just going to probably go heavy pepper jack, lots of peppers, lots of mushroom, and I'm going to go with jalapeno too. I got to, because I have to Mexican up everything.
Damn, yeah. Sean, I thought you were, I was getting jacked there for a second.
We were holding our breath.
I was holding my breath until the fucking green pepper came into the mix.
I said jalapeno pepper. So you guys are anti-pepper, huh?
It's just not Philly. When people, first off, okay. we're gonna give a little lesson here, and Mick's more probably diehard Philly than I am. I've been around the joint, the world. But I'll say this: first off, it's not called a Philly cheesesteak. It's called a cheesesteak. Don't call it a Philly. It's just a cheesesteak. Okay. That's to be authentic.
Actually, a great note.
Yeah. So get your notebook out. And then second off, there's no peppers on a cheesesteak unless you're at Subway. Like, you know what I'm saying? So onion and mushrooms. That's it. Am I correct, Nick?
Okay.
Onions, mushrooms are okay, but for some reason, some of these Philly transplants, they head down south or go elsewhere and start making these Philly cheesesteaks, and they throw the fucking provolone cheese and the green peppers on there. Like, who in God's world came up with the green peppers and provolone cheese?
I'm also out on the pepper jack, Mick. I'm out on the pepper jack.
It's out on the pepper jack too.
It's American.
I mean, look, but then again, let's, to Shaun's defense, at least he's going out there getting some quality ribeye. He's going to find the best roll, and he's going to make it nice and put that little TLC into the mix. And, that's fine because that's a homemade cheesesteak. But if you're going to go out to like a local spot, where are you from, Shaun? Ohio? Dayton?
Watch your mouth.
Where?
I'm from Los Angeles.
No, I mean, where are you living now?
Oh, I live in Arizona now.
You live in Arizona now.
I was in Ohio for a few months though.
Actually, that area does it well. There's actually a lot of joints out there that will actually serve you the proper way to eat a cheesesteak. But you go to like somewhere like in the middle of North Jersey, they're going to label it Philly cheesesteak. They're going to serve it with provolone cheese and green peppers, and I'm going to tell them to go. You know what? Never mind. I'm done.
What's your guys' go-to cheese then? Straight American?
No, I mean, the traditional American's all good. And then the latest and greatest is what they call the Cooper Sharp American. Okay. It's got this real rich creaminess to it. It's really just there are a lot of the later, the newest establishments that have come on the scene are using the Cooper Sharp, and they're blowing everybody's socks off.
It's really good, man. It's really, really good. I remember my dad as a kid would buy it. He said, "You only can buy it in Philly, son. Don't tell anybody about it." And he would put it on our breakfast sandwiches in the morning, and it was unbelievable, man. And then I went to college, came back, popped my head up here, and it was like, Mick's right. It was like the fad in Philly, Cooper Sharp. So it's good stuff, dude. It's unique. Yeah. It's American cheese, probably with more saltiness and flavor than just basic American cheese. Really,
Shaun, we'll give you like an 8.6 on the Samboner scale with that response. It's all good.
I'll take that because that's not an easy one to get,
We were waiting. We were just waiting to jump on you for it.
Now that I'm looking back at I was looking at you guys' faces, I was like, was this I didn't realize until the very end it was a test.
You thought you were going to come over here.
People have to understand at home
and just bullshit and just relax and not be questioned. We're asking the questions here, pal. Let's do it live.
We'll do it live.
Mick, I forgot to ask you. I'm wearing a Giants shirt today. How do you feel about that?
Oh,
I don't feel really good about it, honestly. After we just beat the bag out of them, you got a lot of nerve. I'm Giants a big Bird fan, Shaun.
Yeah, big Eagles fan. Nick, I'm all over because I was blessed to play for the franchise, and these are one of my favorite shirts, and I never wear it. And now that I'm a free agent, I was like, boom, I could put my old stuff
Colin, you may be the only individual in the entire world right now wearing a Philadelphia Phillies hat and a New York Giants shirt. If there's another person out there with that combo on right now, I want to meet him.
I don't know about that.
Who's your team, Shaun?
Yeah. I was a Raiders guy for the longest time. After comedy, I kind of fell off the map with sports when I really started getting on the road. Right. But then when I started hanging out with Pat McAfee, I became a Colts guy. So I've been a Colts guy ever since.
Nice, man.
Tell us about Pat.
Oh man, absolute savage. That guy's the best, man. You got to it's just he's a rocket ship, dude. You either jump on or fucking just burn right off. Luckily I got to float off and do my own thing. He set me up so nice.
It's lit, man.
Yeah, it's just it's good to call him a buddy. We don't these days. It's even I see him here and there, or I'll talk to him sometimes. I went to the office a few months ago and checked it out. I was at the office right before they moved. He's just a great dude, man. I'm over about to get the Harley guy to come pick up my Harley that he actually bought me back in the day. So I just go so we could have someone to ride with. Which I don't know. That tells you right there. The guy just like, hey, Uber over to the Harley dealership, man. I'll meet you there. And then we ride off together. He bought me like a fucking sweet ass 07 1200 Sportster. But yeah, he's just an unbelievable dude, man. And it was an actual pleasure just be able to work with him. And he launched $20 Chef. He put me in front of people. I was happy that I had a product that can work, but I would have never worked without him absolutely jumping on and just putting everything behind it.
Oh, that's just awesome, dude. I didn't know that was the case. That's great.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done any work together?
No, actually, I was just doing stand up. I left LA for Indiana, and he was doing. I didn't know that. I knew he was doing some stand up here and there. I had heard through Facebook there's a couple of haters, which even before I knew Pat, I'm like, why are you hating on someone just trying to do some stuff? But that's just people who are pretending like there are other reasons why they haven't made it. They're just looking for more excuses of why things aren't going the way they think they should, even though things are going exactly how they're supposed to go.
Right.
So anyways, I was just doing a Tuesday night show. It was like, man, there might've been 12 people in the room scattered. And, which I love doing those kind of rooms, cause it's like such a challenge to get that room to get on board. And, he happened to be in the room and I didn't know that. So I just happened to have this set, and it was food. The best joke that stuck. I used to have this bit about sandwiches. I would open up and it would sound, the bit would at the beginning, I made it sound like it was about to be a sexist joke. So I would open up and I'd be like, so what's up with the girls in this town? You guys make good sandwiches here too? You know, it starts like that, but the bit is actually it's like a pro-woman's joke. And in that, at best, as a man, you know, we should feel that, you know, if you have a good dude, that means that he feels he should want to earn a sandwich. You know, like I want to be putting in work and earn it. And then I have these examples, and then at the end, I'm just like explaining this sandwich that was made for me, surprisingly, and how incredible it was, and the sandwich, and how grateful I was. And then after the show, Pat come up and goes, "Man, I love your energy. That was like the best shit I've seen in a long. I love what you do." And then the next day, he called me, or he messaged me he followed me on Twitter, and he DM'd me and said, "My lady friend just made me the best sandwich of my life. Thanks to your joke. Thanks a lot. You want to open for me for like $7,000 for like one night?" I'm like, and I probably had like $80 in my bank. And I'm like, yeah, I do, bro. Awesome. I sure do want to open it for $7,000 at the theater. I thought he was I thought it was a typo. But like when you see the guy giving away $5,000 a day, that's just how he's been before that. He just has more to give away now.
Yeah. Well, I always say, right, the more money you make, the more your hobbies get accelerated. You're the same human. It's just like what you really love and your passions just get accelerated. Like when Mick makes bazillions off the Samboners, like he's just going to order more cheesesteaks and send people cheesesteaks. Like,
well, you know, everything is meant to be, right? There's a reason for everything, and there's a reason you're on this show, right? Your career started over a sandwich.
It kind of did. It definitely got the kick. That joke, the sandwich joke, sent me into a food world.
Oh,
which is pretty hilarious. I never really thought about it like that, but
it's a great story.
Now, dude, I'm looking at your page. It doesn't seem like you're doing the cooking shows as much. Do you do that like once a week, once a month? Like, when the hell am I going to get on the show, first of all? But secondly, like, what kind of new guests do you have lined up?
You know, when I left Barstool, I have done some stuff, but it just cost. So, you know, I've been working, you know, as my own dude to try to get sponsorships. When I worked at Barstool, my product, you know, probably delivered $300,000 a year worth of sponsorships on my show. But once you're not under that brand, and I was, you know, the whole Labatt thing. So now I just do it. Sometimes I'm mostly just trying to cover a lot of food content and do it because I'm like, I have 300 episodes, you know, and I want to do it, but I just, you know, I probably could edit it all myself and do that shit, but my brain isn't that guy. Right. Like I just built a 22-foot mobile bar, you know, in hopes that that's what starts renting a shitload, so that now I can hire an editor again, and I get back to doing 2 episodes a week. Yeah. I mean, I can wake up every morning, smoke a joint, go to the grocery store, and get, you know, if I had a producer that I was working with, like I did for 5 years almost, then I'm a workhorse of video, pumping out the content. But on my own, all that's going to happen is I'm going to tell myself I'm going to film it all, and then the ADD kicks in, and I just can't sit down and edit. And then I just have a phone with 9 episodes of footage that's not been edited. So now I just try to like go hard on stories and just because I've done so much awesome shit, like combined with food, you know? So I'm just at this point, that's why I'm doing this trailer. It's all pure content, but hoping to tie it up to really have extra income in order to have a producer, which would then produce more income. Because when I was going hard at Barstool, real pay wasn't a thing.
The algorithms,
you know. So
we had you follow Kevin, aka the Grill Guy.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, that's similar story, right, Colin? He started out doing cooking shows as well, and then his big break came through doing things media, and they had this whole spin on the dad and how it's relatable with a parent with the kids, and just trying to tie life all together. And with Instagram, you got to continue to be nimble. You got to continue to change. Like Colin and I are always throwing up different types of clips just to kind of keep people on their feet, right? Because we started out doing just reviews after reviews after reviews, and we've learned quickly that, it's just, if you want to continue to evolve and continue to branch out, you got to bring other types of content to the page. But it's a good story, man. I hope to see some of that content come back, though, because it's really relatable, especially to guys like us that just like to, make a nice little meal at home and put a little twist on it. Right now I've been working with a producer to possibly get all, because I have so much content over the years that I have all on a hard drive, because I got to keep all of my IP and everything when I left Barstool. So I was working with the producer now to just try to get it rocking on Tubi. So instead of going to spend thousands of dollars more that I've pretty much just spent on this trailer, I'm hoping that I can just take my body work and put it on Tubi, because I got some followers, and at Barstool peak, I was getting millions of views a month, but still there's 350 million people in the country, Is Tubi, you're referring to YouTube, right?
No, Tubi. It's a streaming service, free.
Yeah, okay.
But you can leverage it.
Nick thought it was like some code term.
I did.
I'm not that.
Is that what the kids are saying these days? Shaun, my question for you, and I'm sorry to take you off, but explain what you're talking about with your trailer and the whole situation there, and because this is Shaun's ultimate creative, and Shaun and I have been talking for years. We mean to do stuff together. This year didn't work out for me. It's just a whole bunch of stuff going on, but Shaun and I will work together. Shaun will work with Non For Long Media at some point in time, I hope. But you're so creative. You're so innovative. Talk to me kind of this project you've been working on.
So I've had it been cooking in my brain for a couple of, for at least 2 years or so before I actually pulled the trigger. Actually, a guy with Labatt Blue had a little side project where and I don't want to say little, that's very demeaning. He had a great side project. It was probably I think this is a 16-foot storage container in Buffalo. Called I'm having a brain fart, but I'll pull it up here. He had a mobile bar, and he took the side of the wall out, and he made it, and it comes up and down like a full, becomes a patio, and I loved it. He put a storage container on a trailer, on just a basic flatbed trailer, and now he has this mobile bar. And I loved the mobile bar in general before that. Being a grill guy, an outdoors guy, I'm a cornhole guy. I'm just a cook outside guy, tailgate guy. And the mobile bar, to me, I just wanted it to be more enhanced. I loved what he did and what they did, but I was like, man, I want to actually roll up with a fucking dive bar. And I want people to feel like they're sitting at a dive bar when they're at my bar. And it could be anywhere. And I can grill off of it, and I can film off of it, and I can do podcasts off of it. I can, whatever I want. I can do a show off of it. I could just show up to a campsite, buy 2 camp spots, and just shut down a campsite, So I bought it's a 20 footer, but it's a 22 footer because it's got the peak in the front. You get an extra 2 feet of space, that I turned into countertop. Where I keep my tools there now, but eventually that'll be where probably the water tank sits for the water system. But I just wanted this, and I wanted it to make money outside, because entertainment is so up and down. Like some years I'm extremely flush, some years I'm fucking Ronnie Ramen. So I just took the money I had saved and everything from Barstool, and when I left there, and I bought this trailer. And then I took it to my family's house, and my stepdad and my uncle and my other uncle, they're all hands-on, they've been welding, blue collar, cars, just construction, tile, just all around old school dude that just knows that shit. And they're in their 60s or 70 years old, but still ready to rock and roll at 6 a.m. with a cup of coffee and a welding mask. So, we just started going at it, dude. I bought the trailer, drug it over there, and just started hammering away at the wall first. Because I don't want a snack bar. Like, I respect anybody doing the horse trailer as far as mobile bars at weddings and things. I think it fits in a lot of cases. but that wasn't what I want. I want something where people can sit up at it and I can be behind it holding court, like when I used to bartend. You know, when you go to your bar and your favorite bartender's there, and it's not a nightclub where you can interact with people at the bar and the bartender, you know, and you get a little shit talking going, and the bartenders make calling you princess and shit like that, you know. And
was that your stick back in the day, calling people princess?
No, actually, my boy G that owns Oso, that was his. And he called all the dudes princess that he kind of know that would come in, and it was just this funny thing that always worked, and people loved it. And so now I have this bar, and I wanted to make it like that. So we went off. I got the wall. So the side wall, it's a 16-foot by whatever, like just under 7 foot high. I have it on a winch, and it just comes down, opens up the whole trailer. Now the trailer has a full patio. You know, that'll have tables and chairs on it as well. That's where the front bar of the stools of the front bar are. So I can fit. So the bar comes from wall to wall, which is 8 foot, and then you 9 foot down, and then 5 foot on the other side. So I can fit 14 real mix. If you mix in fat asses like myself with like regular size people, then you can get between 12 to 15 or so. 10 to 15. Are you
bringing that to the Jersey Shore this summer?
The gigs are going to have to line up to make it fucking worth driving this monster again.
No, this is becoming a popular trend. It seems like you're way ahead of it, but we're starting to see this on the East Coast, even just to the point where, you know, big Mack trucks, they're turning Mack trucks into bars or disco lounges, and these fucking Mack trucks will pull into the big warehouse. You can go into the warehouse and pick and choose your battles. Little dive bar, Irish pub, little disco jam, little this, little that. Dude, it's amazing what's going on, but I love your concept. It's great.
Hey, Chef, as we start to wrap things up a little bit, a couple questions from me. First, I want to hear about Mexico and the food scene, what you did, the tacos, what were you finding on them? Anything different? What was the vibe?
Oh, my God. I'm going to be honest. That was my biggest Anthony Bourdain moment in quite some time, was that Mexico run I just went on in Mexico City. If you want to go on a vacation anywhere right now, and you're not sure where to go, and you're not sure what to do, and you don't want to just do the normal, let me go lay on a beach and take photos of my hot ass laying here in the sun, drinking a pina colada, which one of my best me's is swim up bar at the resort me. Okay, so I'm saying you want something a little different and also extremely budgetable. I mean, if you can raise the money to get your ass to Mexico City and have a hotel or get a hostel even, or an Airbnb, that's all you got to worry about, because when you get down there, you have more options than you're ever going to have in your life for a taco, for a one item thing. And it's so affordable, and you're drinking beers. There's some places I'll get 4 or 5 tacos, and I'll drink 2 Victorias, 2 Pacificos or something. And it's like fucking 400 pesos or something. I'm sorry, 40 pesos, 80 pesos, because it's 20 to 1 right now. It's 20 pesos to $1. So even at 200 pesos, it's $10. And that's if you're sitting there. Not one time at a taco stand did we spend over 100 pesos.
Take a look.
Unless we both got a second round of tacos and more beer.
I've been to Mexico twice. I've never been to Mexico City to get tacos. I just was in Austin, Texas not too long ago, and the taco scene there is incredible.
Yeah, but every taco's $4. That's the difference.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Or $3.50. In Mexico City, every corner has a spot of some sort. There's so many of them. I'm not telling you. I'm not exaggerating. There's probably 20,000 taco stands in Mexico City.
I believe it.
I'm not even exaggerating.
Like that. Oh my God, dude!
Every store's different. You got the rolled taco guy. You got the guy doing chicken.
Fried Uns has been pulling for Taco Month, for Mexican Month, for ever since we've been doing this. We've been doing this for 4 years, Shaun. We've been on Instagram 2 years. We roll out a different month every month. We've never done Mexican Month. We got to do a Mexican.
Oh, that's almost borderline racist.
Is it racist if we do it? That's my question.
No, if you don't do it. But you know what they did have a trend down there that I liked was there's a mix. I gotta get the name of it for the notes. I'll text my buddy that, because the reason I ended up down there was one of my best friends on the planet who owns LB Long Beach Jerky Company. He moved down there. He operates his business from there. So the dude's been sending me taco pictures every morning for the last fucking 2 years. And so I went down there, and It's just where you want to be, and then they're mixing pork and steak now, like a chorizo mixed with the steak. There's another different kind of pork they're cooking with the steak. They're doing a bunch of mixing with I really enjoyed of that. It wasn't before. I feel like that's taken over more popularity from like the more iffy meats that I don't really fuck with lengua too much. I'm not really a super chewy food, outside of eating ribeye fat with some beans, with some nice bites off of a cheesesteak. I'm not trying to eat full on lengua or intestines, if you fry it up enough, if it's crunchy, I'll do it. Like it's not about it's just the texture of my mouth. I don't want that lengua, that soft shit. But Chef, yeah, I'm telling you, it's so affordable. It's $3 and $4 for an Uber, $4 for $3 for a taco, for 5 tacos and a beer.
Chef, as we wrap things up here, and Mick will wrap things up with it. If he's got any questions, I'll ask mine. When you lived in New York City, and you were there for quite some time, like the bagel scene, I'm going to still call it a hoagie. Like, what's that life like? Pizza, fire.
I'll tell you right now. What they do is everybody, we're as a country. I think that the custom now is to get blindsided by what's on top. We're gonna put on this one? We're so crazy. What shape? What shape and what are we gonna put on it? Ooh, we're gonna put some stuff somewhere else that no one's ever put stuff. Because the point is that that's what they need. They need everybody needs fireworks to sell food. What they don't need in New York is fireworks to sell, because it's all about that base, right? So the bread, all that matters is the breading. It's like we're talking about the bread, the fresh bread on a hoagie or a sandwich. When you eat in New York, is just a different level of freshness and good. Those mixtures of texture between the outside being that perfect flaky bite, crispy, or whatever you get in there, versus that perfect softness. Same thing with the pizza dough, which obviously we all know is the bagel, the pizza dough, the bread. It's all about that water in New York, on the East Coast, that water in Philly. You're getting that bread. That's why you can't get that shit on the West Coast, because no one ain't got no time to ship a truckload of fucking New York City tap water to Santa Monica to make a bagel that they could take a bite and get a reminiscent feeling if they're from Brooklyn.
You actually pronounce water correctly. Us Philadelphians here, it's more like water, W-O-O-D-E-R.
Yeah. Shout out, by the way, shout out to my old producer at Barstool, young kid. He came with me to New York, and we worked together for 5 years. He's a Philly kid. He through and through. King's College all day. You know what I mean?
Roan?
No, not Roan. He's not a producer. Booze, Ryan Bornasian. He's a producer. He works with Roan now, though, on producing stuff. I know.
Okay.
But he's one of the really great producers over there. Kid was
Shaun,
he'll shoot it all, edit it all, and do all the social media. That's like the type level of military action you need as a staff member whenever I start hiring.
Nice. Now, are you on tour right now, Shaun?
Yeah, I have some shows coming up. I'm doing some things, but a lot I'm focusing on also just I'm gonna trying to get this trailer rocking and rolling so I can get that filming and
nice
and just get rolling out there. But I do sets all over town all the time. I don't ever promote. I just go do.
You do any impersonations?
No, I don't do too many impersonations. I wish I did. And I just I act out dumb shit, but it's always just whatever comes to my brain whenever I'm telling the story on stage,
What comedian inspired you the most?
Martin Lawrence, I'd have to say out the gate for sure.
Martin,
and wasn't even close. His crowd, like my favorite thing now is crowd work. Like I can really dig in. I'm really good at it after 20 plus years of this shit. And you can't force it. So I'm not at a level of zen that I can just walk out there and it's going to happen no matter what. Like it has to have the feeling.
Yeah.
But Martin Lawrence used to talk to the crowd on Def Jam when I was like 14 or 15. And when he would just talk shit to the crowd, man, and the way that crowd would just go bananas, and the way I couldn't get enough of that, like that magic of how, like, dude, he's doing that on the spot, and it just killed me. And then I loved the show Martin, and I loved all his early specials.
I was about to say, man, I loved that show growing up as a kid. Absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, and he rode off into the sunset accordingly. Yeah, you know what? Just a lot of people say, "Oh, just keep doing it." Yeah, you could. He could have too. But, maybe you don't want to. Maybe he's been doing it since he was 15 years old. And he just wants to go hang out with his family with his $600 million in the bank. Like, I don't have to be at the Comedy Store to verify how good I am at a craft. I got 600 million. That shows you how much.
That's
and my show's on.
When does it end? When does it end? When do you stop?
I know. When does it end?
When things fall apart? No.
Who knows? But I know he's still. I mean, I can't imagine how much money everybody's talking about. How much Seinfeld makes on what's it called? Whenever you start when it keeps reoccurring on television, your syndication. When your show goes to syndication and just starts playing all your old episodes, right? Seinfeld's still the highest paid comedian because of that.
What do you think The Office is going to make? Those people at The Office, by the time that's over, in the next 100 years, they're going to run that show?
God, bro. Especially the way the internet is just one big free marketing machine for television shows of the past.
That show.
It's just like, hey, watch. This is the show you should be watching.
And still fall on that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Martin was always my guy, dude. And I know that his style of stand-up isn't as popular as the way it hasn't, because he hasn't been in the clubs adapting and playing along and doing, and going.
Shaun, man, you seem like a good time, man. I'd love to throw a couple back with you one day. Maybe we'll do a little West Coast Samboner tour, roll up our sleeves, take a few looks, take a few bikes, and get after it, man.
What do you guys do for the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl? We got one step before the Super Bowl. We got to win this Sunday. We got to take down the 49ers, the high-flying 49ers.
You know what? I forgot, since I don't have nobody there's nothing at stake outside of having a good time during the day of. So I forgot.
Best friend. Colin's wearing a Phillies hat, but he's best friends with Christian McCaffrey, so he's rooting for the Niners and maybe the Giants, even though they're eliminated. I don't know what's going through this kid's head anymore, Shaun, but hey, we're having a lot of fun doing it.
I'm not rooting for anybody. I'm rooting for a good game. No, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hey, man, I'm not gonna say it, but it doesn't matter. Philly Eagles fans, it's gonna be a great game, great atmosphere. I think I'm gonna be there.
It's gonna be such a good game, that Philly Niners game.
We're gonna sneak Mick in. We're gonna sneak Mick in the stadium.
Fuck it, I'm sneaking in regardless.
Everybody get arrested. You just put one of those orange vests on and grab a ladder. That's all you do, bro. And then you know what you got to do? Just tell Colin in here to send you some sort of credential from one of his past events where he was some fucking stud, athlete. And then that's all you need. You just go like this, bro. You walk in with the ladder. You just go like that with your credentials.
Hold up the Samboner thing.
Yeah. That's all you got to do, bro.
Shaun Latham, absolute legend. Thank you for coming on, brother. We really appreciate it.
Hey, man, I'm really thankful you guys asked me to come on. Obviously, always good hanging out with you, Colin. Mick, awesome to get to know you, bro. Get your guys' energy and vibe together is great. Love the show. Love what you're doing. And I'd love to come back anytime.
Appreciate it, brother.
Have a great day. Samboner out.
Samboner out.
Go Birds,
later,
man.
guys.
I got to go Birds before you go. Are you a Birds fan or what?
We hit you. I'm not, but
we're not done yet, Mick. The show's still going on. Mick, this is our last recording before the game. I just popped it up. You're going to have to hang on there, Chef, or you can roll if you'd like. Mick, what's the prediction for the game? What's the vibe?
Oh man, I think that if it was the Eagles Cowboys, we'd see another just a gritty NFC East battle down in the trenches. Defense wins the game, but with the Niners and their high-profile, high-flying offense coming into Philly, I think you're going to see Jalen Hurts step up his game more than you've ever seen it before. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Miles Sanders. It's going to be a high-scoring game. That's my prediction. I'm going to go Birds easy, 41-38 in a very, very unbelievable close battle, game-winning field goal at the wire, and fucking South Philadelphia is going to go absolute pandemonium, and we're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
There it is, folks. You heard it here first.
You like that?
I like that. That's Samboner Mick. That's Chef. I'm Colin Thompson. Samboner out.
Samboner out. I haven't really thought about that game. Well, you're still recording. Hey. Don't mess with me.
You're good. I can edit it out, buddy. You're good.
Oh.